February 26, 2026. PGA National, Palm Beach Gardens. The banners are hanging, the bear trap is waiting, and the grandstands are nearly empty. 3 days before the first tee shot, the PGA Tour watched its worst nightmare unfold. Ben Griffin, number 11 in the world, withdrew. Jacob Bridgeman, number 20 and fresh off a Genesis victory, followed hours later. Then Adam Scott, whose face is plastered on tournament posters, joined them. When the dust settled, the Cognizant Classic has 0 players ranked inside the top 25 of the official world golf ranking. 0. For the first time since at least 2007. In the best golf market in America, where half the tour lives within 10 miles of the course, the stars have decided they'd rather stay home. And now the golf world is demanding answers. Subscribe for the full story of the controversy that has the PGA Tour on notice. February 23, 2026, 3 days before the Cognizant Classic. The tournament staff at PGA National had done everything right. Banners were hung, hospitality tents were erected, the bear trap was groomed and waiting. Then the notifications started hitting phones. Ben Griffin, ranked number 11 in the world, withdrew. No explanation, just a cold entry on the withdrawal list that sent a shiver through the tournament office. Hours later, Jacob Bridgeman, number 20 and fresh off his stunning Genesis Invitational victory, also pulled out. The kid who had just beaten Rory McIlroy and stared down Tiger Woods' cold handshake was suddenly too tired to show up in his home state. Then came the gut punch. Adam Scott, one of the most beloved and recognizable players on tour, joined them. The 45-year-old veteran, whose face was plastered on banners all over the property, wouldn't be there to defend his image. 3 players, 1 day, 0 explanations that satisfied anyone. When the dust settled, the Cognizant Classic found itself in an embarrassing position. Not a single player ranked inside the top 25 of the official world golf ranking would be teeing it up at PGA National. The last time that happened? At least 2007, when the event moved from Mirasol to its current home. Fans noticed immediately. Social media erupted. One post captured the frustration perfectly. The PGA Tour clearly is a league of haves and have-nots, not only for golfers, but tournaments too. Only defending champion Joe Highsmith and local favorite Brooks Koepka remained committed. The banners featuring Sahith Theegala and Adam Scott, false advertising now. What the hell is happening to this tournament?
Justin Thomas lives in nearby Tequesta. He's played the Cognizant Classic 5 times. He knows every blade of grass at PGA National. And he's not playing this year. Thomas is recovering from back surgery and skipping Cognizant to return at Bay Hill. But even if he were healthy, he admits the tournament has become a victim of its own calendar. It's one of those events that has fallen at an unfortunate time in the schedule, Thomas said. It's just one of those things, the way that guys need to play certain events or feel like they give themselves the best opportunity to win and make the most points as possible. It's just kind of where it falls kind of thing. Where it falls is the problem. The Cognizant Classic is sandwiched between 4 of the biggest events of the year: the Genesis Invitational, which just finished, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, starting next week, the Players' Championship, the Tour's flagship event immediately after that, and then the Valspar Championship for those who qualify. 4 tournaments, millions in prize money, and the Cognizant Classic stuck in the middle like a speed bump. Billy Horschel, the Florida native playing his 14th Cognizant, put it even more bluntly. He didn't sugarcoat, he didn't spin, he told the truth. A decade ago, this event was unbelievable with the field, Horschel said. Where it fell in the schedule was really good for a lot of the guys that lived here. This field has sort of been up and down the last couple years. When you've got so many events on the PGA Tour schedule and you've got guys trying to figure out where they're going to fit, it's tough to fill the field. The math is brutal, and it's killing one of golf's most historic events.
There was a time when the bear trap struck fear into the hearts of the world's best golfers. Holes 15 through 17 at PGA National weren't just a stretch of golf. They were a three-hole nightmare that decided tournaments and broke dreams. Water lurking everywhere, wind howling off the floor of the marshes, thick Bermuda rough swallowing errant shots. Players walked onto the 15th tee knowing that their entire week could unravel in the next 45 minutes. That bear trap is gone. The PGA Tour has systematically softened one of golf's most iconic stretches. The rough has been cut almost in half, bunkers have been removed, the par threes have been shortened, and most controversially, the course has been overseeded with ryegrass instead of Bermuda, creating softer fairways and slower conditions that players can attack. The numbers tell the story. In 2018, PGA National ranked as the second toughest course on tour. By 2025, it had fallen to 35th out of 50, with a scoring average of 69.26, nearly 2 strokes under par. Last year, Jake Knapp shot a 59. 15 players shot 65 or better in the first round alone. 115 players were under par. The bear trap had become a birdie fest. Joel Dahmen tweeted what every fan was thinking: "I miss the old PGA National." Rory McIlroy, the 2012 champion, explained the changes bluntly. "The rough has been cut back. There has been a couple of bunkers taken out. Maybe it's not quite the test that it was 10 years ago." The irony is painful. The tour softened the course to attract stars. The stars still aren't coming. And now the tournament has lost both its elite fields and its identity. If there's one reason to watch this year's Cognizant Classic, it's Brooks Koepka. The 5-time major champion, Palm Beach Gardens native, is making his third PGA Tour start since walking away from a reported 9-figure LIV Golf contract in December of 2025. LIV and Koepka amicably and mutually agreed to part ways with a year left on his deal, citing Koepka's desire to prioritize the needs of his family in staying closer to home after his wife Jenna suffered a miscarriage at 16 weeks. The decision cost him dearly. Under the tour's returning member program, Koepka cannot receive player equity program payouts from 2026 through 2030 and will forfeit FedEx Cup bonus money in 2026. The lost income is estimated between $50 million and $85 million. On top of that, he agreed to a $5 million charitable contribution just to be allowed back. Koepka's world ranking has plummeted to 255th because LIV events don't award ranking points. He's essentially starting from the bottom, begging for sponsor exemptions into events he used to win in his sleep. At the Genesis 2 weeks ago, he finished tied for 45th. Decent, but not dominant. The rust is still there. The timing is still off. The edge that made him a 5-time major champion hasn't fully returned. But for 1 week, in his hometown, he has an opportunity, a chance to remind everyone that class is permanent, that 5 majors don't disappear. "I'm not here to make up numbers," he said quietly before the tournament. "I'm here to win. That's all I've ever been here to do." The bear trap awaits. The crowd will be smaller than he's used to. But for Brooks Koepka, standing on the 15th tee in his hometown, it might just mean everything. The 2026 Cognizant Classic will be played. Joe Highsmith will defend his title. Brooks Koepka will chase redemption. Ryan Gerard, ranked 26th, is the highest-ranked player in the field. Shane Lowry at number 31 and Sepp Straka at number 34 round out the limited star power. But the questions won't go away. The PGA Tour is examining a significant schedule overhaul. Tiger Woods is leading a committee that's considering reducing the primary schedule to around 20 to 22 events. That would mean fewer tournaments, more competition for spots, and even more pressure on events like Cognizant. Tom D'Angelo of the Palm Beach Post wrote the words that should haunt Pontevedra. The tour will decide whether or not it wants a tournament that started in 1972 as the Jackie Gleason Inverary Classic to thrive as it once did, or go away. The tournament has options. Move to the fall, find a better spot in the calendar, negotiate for better field requirements. But for now, it's stuck in a position no tournament wants to be in: irrelevant. Of the top 30 golfers in the world, 12 live within 10 miles of PGA National. This week, only one of them is playing. The TGL League, co-founded by Woods and McIlroy, will feature 13 of the top 30 players this week, including 6 of the top 10. None of them are at Cognizant. The bear trap waits. The water glistens. A handful of players will walk through it, chasing a trophy that used to mean everything. The question isn't whether this tournament survives, it's whether anyone will notice when it's gone. For more coverage of the PGA Tour's biggest controversies, subscribe and hit the notification bell.